Good afternoon. This is a really fun topic. We're continuing on this theme of complexity theory, right? And all these emergent qualities that come out of complexity. And today's complexity topic is ergodicity, or ergodic systems, which is really dynamically fluid systems. So that sounds a little weird, but this is really a fun topic, and you can think of lots of things or lots of thought experiments, which in and of itself sounds incredibly geeky. But think about this. Just take a set of anything, a set of planets, a set of cheetahs, like I have here, a set of elephants, a set of people. Let's say that people's health could be 1 for unhealthy, 2 for healthy, and 3 for super healthy. Well, you can run an imaginary set of criteria to see whether the system would be ergodic or not. And so we have to first define what ergodic is, and we're going to talk about that today. But what we're going to do is talk about ergodic systems today and what it means, and then we're going to actually apply that in the next videos to markets, so in particular asset allocations and markets in general. And then companies. There's a great book by Jim Collins called Built to Last that actually references, it doesn't talk about it by name, but in context, it talks about ergodicity among companies, publicly traded companies in particular, and then individuals. There's a big topic right now of debate in America about wealth inequality and what that means and how to fix it. So if a system is static, then maybe it does need to be fixed. If a system is ergodic, then you might think differently about wealth inequality. So we're going to talk about all those things in the next videos, but today, let's talk about what ergodicity is. So let's take these examples. Let's just say we have cheetahs, 9 cheetahs in a system, and these cheetahs could have 3 states of being. Let's just say slow cheetahs, fast cheetahs, and super fast cheetahs. And we're gonna throw this down here like this. Now we get tricked into thinking that everything, all sets of data, fit into what we would call a Gaussian curve or a bell curve, right? There's some tails, but mostly things fall into 1 or 2 standard deviations. It is not true in most things. It actually is only true in things that have natural gravity in them. Well, guess what? This has natural gravity. Number 1 cheetahs, the slow cheetahs, will not become fast cheetahs for a day and then become super fast cheetahs for a day, then fast cheetahs for another day. They will be stuck as ones. Why? Because there's a natural gravity to the speed of cheetahs based on their DNA. And there's no fluidity between these levels of cheetah. Similarly, a number 3 cheetah won't become a number 1 cheetah for a day and then become number 3, right? As long as they have the same health and same age profiles, they will occupy the positions. This is what we would call an absorption barrier. And it's an absorption barrier created by DNA. There are other things that create absorption barriers, like regulations, government intervention. There's lots of things that could create absorption barriers. In chemistry, they're created by chemical barriers and electrons and the way they interact. Let's take another example. So this is a static system, right? What about a dynamic system? Are all dynamic systems ergodic? Not really. So take molecules. Let's just say these are water molecules. And let's say this is cold, warm, and hot. If we apply a heat source, then we'll see these migrate from 1 to 3. So it'll migrate in a predictable pattern until they're all saturated, and then all of the set would be 3s, right? It's all hot water. Well, that's not ergodic either. That is a dynamic system, but it's dynamic from a fixed kind of state of progression. A true ergodic system has volatility to it. A 1 today becomes a 3 tomorrow, becomes a 2 the day after, and the 2 becomes a 3, it becomes a 1. There's a lot of movement around in a very random pattern in this. But this is the key, over time, all of the elements will obtain each of the states of being. Let's just say this is particles, and a particle could be neutral charge, positive charge, or negative charge. Ergodic systems are ones where the elements of the system will at some point in time experience each of those states of being if they're given a long enough time period. So, planets cannot support life, can support life, and have life. Just run experiments in your mind about what systems might be ergodic. And then let's talk about these financial applications for it in the next videos. I hope that's helpful.